I'm Frank. This is my wife, Dorothy. We've been married 60 years, and after 6 decades together, raising 4 children, surviving everything life threw at us, there's only one thing we truly regret. One thing that almost cost us everything. And it's probably the same mistake you're making right now.
When Frank says it almost cost us everything, he means it. There was a time after almost 30 years together where I looked at this man and thought, I don't know who you are anymore. We'd spent so many years focused on everything except each other that we'd become strangers in the same house.
People assume 60 years means we figured it out early. We didn't. We made one mistake that nearly destroyed us. And if you're married or planning to be, you need to hear this.
The one thing we regret more than anything else is this. We put our children before our marriage. And I know that sounds wrong. I know it sounds selfish. Every parent is supposed to put their kids first, right? That's what good parents do. But here's what nobody tells you. When you put your children before your marriage, you end up losing both.
Let me explain what I mean. When our first child, David, was born in 1966, everything changed. Dorothy and I had been married 2 years at that point. We were still learning each other, still building our life together. And then suddenly there was this baby who needed everything. Every ounce of energy, every moment of attention, every bit of love we had. And we gave it gladly. Of course we did. That's what parents do.
But somewhere along the way, we stopped being Frank and Dorothy. We became David's parents. Then Rebecca came along in 68. Then Thomas in 71. Then little Susan in 74. 4 children in 8 years. And by the time Susan was born, I couldn't remember the last time Frank and I had a real conversation that wasn't about the kids, their schedules, their problems, their needs. That's all we talked about. That's all we were.
I worked long hours back then, construction foreman, so I was gone before sunrise most days, didn't get home until dinner was on the table. And when I walked through that door, Dorothy would hand me a list. David needs help with his homework. Rebecca has a fever. Thomas won't eat his vegetables. The baby's been crying all day. There was always something, and I'd handle it because that's what fathers do. But Dorothy and I, we barely looked at each other.
We'd fall into bed exhausted every night, too tired to talk, too tired for anything really. And I told myself it was temporary. Once the kids are older, I thought, once they're in school, once they're teenagers, once they leave, then Frank and I will have time for each other again. That was the lie I told myself for nearly 30 years.
The thing about children is they consume everything. And I don't blame them for that. That's just how it works. But Dorothy and I made them the center of our universe. Every decision we made was about what was best for the kids. Every vacation was a family vacation. Every dinner conversation was about their lives. We never went anywhere alone, never did anything as just a couple. We thought we were being good parents. Turns out we were slowly killing our marriage.
I remember one night, must have been around 1979. All 4 kids were in bed. The house was finally quiet. And Frank was sitting in his chair reading the newspaper, and I was across the room folding laundry. And I looked at him and thought, when was the last time we sat next to each other? When was the last time we held hands? And I couldn't remember. I genuinely couldn't remember.
We'd become partners in running a household, business partners almost. We coordinated schedules and divided responsibilities and made sure everything got done. But we weren't lovers anymore. We weren't even friends, really. We were 2 people who happened to live in the same house and share the same children.
And the worst part is, we didn't even notice it happening. It was so gradual. One day you're newlyweds who can't keep your hands off each other. The next day you're strangers who kiss each other on the cheek before bed out of habit, not affection. There was no single moment where we drifted apart. It just happened, slowly, over years and years.
The wake-up call came in 1992. Susan, our youngest, had just left for college. The house was empty for the first time in over 25 years. And I remember standing in the kitchen that first morning, just Dorothy and me, and neither of us knew what to say. We'd spent over 2 decades talking about the children, and now they were gone, and we had nothing.
That silence was the loneliest I've ever felt. Here was this man I'd been married to for almost 30 years, and I didn't know how to have a conversation with him. I didn't know his opinions on anything that wasn't related to our kids. I didn't know what he dreamed about, what he worried about, what he wanted from the years we had left. We'd been so busy being parents that we forgot to be married.
That first year of the empty nest nearly finished us. I'm not proud of this, but I'll tell you the truth. We talked about divorce, not angry conversations, not screaming matches. Just quiet, sad discussions about whether we'd made a mistake staying together, whether we'd be happier apart. We were in our early 50s and we were considering ending a nearly 30-year marriage because we realized we'd become strangers.
What saved us, honestly, was stubbornness. My mother, God rest her soul, had been married to my father for 52 years when he died, and she used to say, "Dorothy, marriage isn't about feelings. Feelings come and go. Marriage is about deciding every single day that you're going to stay." And I thought about that. I thought, I don't know this man anymore, but I made a promise, and maybe, just maybe, I can get to know him again.
So we started over. In our early 50s, we started dating again. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But that's what we did. I asked Dorothy to have dinner with me, not at home, at a restaurant, just the two of us. And we sat there, awkward as teenagers, trying to remember how to talk to each other about something other than the kids.
Those early conversations were painful, long silences, fumbling for topics, but slowly we found our way back. Frank told me about his childhood in ways he never had before. I told him about my fears, my regrets, things I'd kept inside for decades. We learned each other all over again, and somewhere in that learning, we fell in love again. Different than before, deeper maybe, but real.
If we had put even half that effort into our marriage while we were raising the kids, we wouldn't have had to rebuild from nothing. That's the tragedy. We thought we were doing the right thing, putting the children first, but children don't need you to sacrifice your marriage. They need to see a marriage worth having. They need to see their parents love each other, prioritize each other, make time for each other.
Our children grew up watching two people who functioned as a team but never showed affection. They never saw us hold hands, never saw us go on dates, never saw us choose each other. And you know what happened? 3 of our 4 children have been divorced. 3 out of 4. Because they never learned what a real marriage looks like. They learned what a parenting partnership looks like. That's not the same thing.
David told me once, years later, that he didn't know married people were supposed to actually enjoy being together. He thought marriage was just about dividing up responsibilities and getting through the day. That broke my heart, because that's exactly what Dorothy and I showed him.
If I could go back and do it differently, here's what I'd change. I'd tell Frank I needed 1 night a week that was just ours. I'd get a babysitter and go to dinner with my husband. I'd hold his hand in front of the children. I'd let them see us kiss. I'd talk to Frank about something other than diapers and report cards and soccer practice.
I'd take Dorothy away for a weekend, just the two of us, at least once a year. I'd write her love notes and leave them where the kids could see. I'd show my sons what it looks like when a man cherishes his wife. I'd show my daughter what she deserves from a husband. Children learn love by watching, and we taught them that love disappears when kids arrive.
The hardest part of this regret is that we can't undo it. We can't go back to 1966 and do it better. We can't give our children a different model of marriage. All we can do is tell you right now before you make the same mistake. Your children need you to love each other, not just function together. Love each other, visibly, intentionally, every day.
These last 30 years, since we rebuilt our marriage, have been the best of our lives. We travel together now. We laugh together. We hold hands when we walk down the street. Our grandchildren see what our children never did. Two people who genuinely enjoy being married to each other.
And our children have noticed. Rebecca told me last year that watching Frank and me now, in our 80s, has taught her more about marriage than anything she saw growing up. She said she didn't know we had it in us, and that makes me both happy and sad. Happy that she's learning now. Sad that we didn't show her sooner.
So here's our one piece of advice after 60 years. Don't lose each other in the chaos of raising children. Your marriage came first. It should stay first. Your children will leave eventually. They're supposed to. And when they do, you need to have something left, someone left. Don't wake up one day and realize you're living with a stranger.
We almost lost each other. After almost 30 years of living in the same house, sleeping in the same bed, raising the same children, we almost walked away because we'd forgotten why we got married in the first place. Don't let that happen to you. Our time here is limited, but if sharing our biggest regret helps your marriage thrive, then it was worth telling. Love your spouse, not just your children, your spouse. That's what 60 years finally taught us.
If any of this hit home for you, pass it along to someone who might need it. Tell us in the comments if you've faced this struggle in your own marriage. And if you want more honest conversations from people who've lived long enough to learn the hard way, subscribe. Don't wait for an empty house to remember why you chose each other. Remember it now, today, while there's still time.